All right, so this morning, little Johannes, which is Nucci, Nuchie, he was watching, I guess it's Little House on the Prairie, which I know I've seen, I just don't really remember. But this is for Michael Landing, because I know in special projects, I think on the phone call in like 1980s ish, they're like, yeah, see, here's the thing. Where we are, we put everything in your lettering for English, but we have to keep the phone companies separate because they're separate marriages that are going to be important in your lifetime. I'm like, okay. So my phone company was under, I believe, the phone directory of Edward, not of, I didn't have a Philip, and I did not have a Charles in my phone company. I only had a Bobby, which is a Robert, a Thomas, which is a Tommy, and a Edward. I had a Stephen, and think about this. Stephen, she had a Clifford, which is the troublesome one at the moment because it's the cliff that like everybody pushed me off of, freelancing and free falling by myself with no parachute. Thanks for the tandem lookup or hookup. Let's think about this. What other? Who am I missing? Oh, and then we have a Richard, my Uncle Richie. I'm like, I know I'm missing someone. All right, so let's think about this. So that's we're trying to keep the phone companies separate, but just for Tetra purposes, TETRA, since they said that where they come from, the job title and function and word Hitler, HITLER, being the head of IT in a square root of a three-dimensional, actually it's four-dimensional mastery program. Actually it's more dimensions than that, but whatever. Was like the most like honorable thing and honorable mention you could have. But for some reason when I woke up, like the New York that I woke up to in 1978, the Prairie, it was now a Bon Jovi living on a prayer with a Madonna singing about a hope and a prayer, but in a bustier that was black with gold tassels in a boudoir, like private moment between a husband and a wife, but she was doing that out on front stage. So this has been a really uncomfortable appearance, I suppose, like a solo appearance, because who the hell wants to be out doing this? I mean, this was not expected. This was like not. Here's what happened. Because I know in Hitler territory and Michael Landing territory, you like to see everything being done by the person. I got that. And the who steals somebody else's ideas. You guys are a disgusting bunch. All right, so on the Michael Landing Prairie. Prayer. All right, you have all right, so there's the Tetra. I'll put this on my shoulder. There's the Tetra. And what happens is the 4-letter boxes. There's 3-letter box. I mean, there's all sorts of things. They came and they took all of my boxes that I used in order to stack and build theoretical. They came I don't know who this was, by the way. I can only assume it's the Donkey Kong bunch down the hall in locked doors that are not allowed to know things, and they're not from phone company. They've now stolen the phone company and created something different, which was off of the Tetra that they stole, but whatever. Here we are, and I don't give broken children toys because then they think that, and whatever, they break the process. So what they did was, this box, if it says nut, the nut used to have a power to it. It used to have like a, let's think about this, like a ×3 charge to it. What they did was they took away the ×3 charge, so then it had no impact. So every time the important word nut was used in the echo chamber around myself within the mini omni and the H sphere of the cavity work, it no longer had a spracha impact. Like, it comes out, it hits the inner wall, it sends through the H connection to the outer wall account, which then goes from there from delta placenta connection out and up, and then it recalculates. I mean, was to get me out of here. Veet, 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 veet. Wings on your feet. Like, move. But instead, you're like, oh, well, what if we just remove the power charge of the surge when it speaks? Now, all of a sudden, the echo chamber will no longer pick up on the resonance of it, and then it won't carry through and carry over. So we literally just erase her out of the Fidelis completely, as if she doesn't exist. The Fidelis, the mainframe machine, will see her walking around, but we've virtually taken away the power, function, and feature. Right, yeah, but here's the thing, stupid, fucking useless, down the hall in a different... You're not even in a septum. You're not a septum. You're not, you're down a corridor that you're employed in that you don't even deserve to show up for work in. You're like the born this way, not my way. I don't know how you got a job function. It must be the other phone company under the Philip guy who educated you and said that you were important. Yeah, the Edward guy did not say that they were important, because I'd be the Edward guy's head boss here at Hitler. So anyway, so they took away that. What I do know under Spracha is, there was a moment where my future betrothed, I mean, I could say it now, but my future betrothed, I guess him about this age now, or maybe about 30, is there's supposed to be something called a founder's ball for every year that I'm not in the Michael landing Prairie, where I was supposed to be like ushered off to. But it hasn't happened. It happened once, but it was a Hitler house party, which started off like there were other attendees, and then all of a sudden they just disappeared. Like, great, thank you. And then it was just 3 of us. So now, and that's how we prefer to debate. So, one witness, and then he and I. So now that happened only once, but that was that founder's ball, and you found me in a white pair of jeans, a black tank top, my hair in a bun, and like totally disheveled and disoriented. Let me think about this. I think that was around year 35, 36 for me. Maybe 37, somewhere in there. And I was just like, just make this end. I don't want to do this anymore. Although I've been saying that since I was 4. So, right, so then that size gentleman, right, the one I belong to, right, you shrink me down to like, 3, 4, like when this all started with the phone calls, and searching for where I'm supposed to be with the help of Judy in her kitchen. And he says, well, you're going to have to tell me again, why you think they say that you say this word all the time, dreamy. And I'm like, I said, that's the epitome of the word. Like that's what he is. And he's like, no, I know that he is, but for me, like, I want to know. I know you do it for Judy all the time. I want to know. It's almost like the kids say the darndest thing, like with, I think, Bill Cosby, or I don't know who did it, but that show. But it was like, I want to see for myself. So I started jumping up and down, holding his hand, and I'm just like, please, 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 please. I'm like, don't leave me where I am. I was like, I just want to go. I just know. And he's like, no, I know, you just know. And then he's like, okay, so now pretend for a second that the head of the family walks in the room, or the head of your clan, or whatever it is, walks in the room. He says, you can't act this way. I'm like, no, I know that. He says, so show me what you'd act like. Straighten up, fix your hair. You just have to be straight faced. And so that's it. Hello, my love bug. My Johannes Vermeer on the veneer. Die Voil. That's that. Alright, and then that goes back to, like, I think you came to Huntington one night. And I was like, right, whatever. That goes back to, like, taking the power out of the square root of the word NUT. I don't know why my tetra keeps getting messed with, but I can tell you that this is what I need fixed, amongst other things. If this is my person, we'll say this is the ground I walk on. There is a numeric value for this. There's a cavity here to here, and then there's a placement value that happens there. And what they've done is they've essentially deleted my tetra bank of building blocks that were strictly my own and built before we entered the dimension of this version of simulation human, for mechanical reasons. So I'm not giving I have names for the inner and outer shell of the echo chamber, but I'm not giving it process names, not out front. They've stolen enough, and they seem to be baiting the allure up ahead. And they used to say, no, we're just writing process papers and mock trial papers, just so this way we know. And then, right. Then why is it count 42 years into some future that is so detrimental and so disgusting? It's like driving a rocket ship for 42 years with a leak in the fuselage and going, oh no, we don't have to stop for gas. It'll hold. We won't blow up at any point. Yeah, let's just chance it. Let's just push it to the edge. Right, yeah. You see, I don't really take chances like that, but you humans are like a real fucking piece of work. I don't know why so many of you are living. Really, I don't.